whatever that girl name is. I'm so sick of the 4 months of that. Who cares when we got flooding all over the country, UFOs flying around? Only thing they want to stick you on is some crazy white girl that's deranged and got involved with some sexual freaking energies that pushed her ass over the line and she done killed somebody. And now every day you gotta listen to that bullshit. I'm so sick of these people stagnating and contaminating, bringing decadence to the earth. They need to get the fuck out of here.
Grown Negro American Muslims are the most powerful of the black supremacist groups. They now claim a membership of at least a quarter.
The most powerful of the black supremacist group. What black supremacist group? See, they always got to throw you a terrorist organization outside of themselves. How can we be a black supremacist group when our whole history of being around you guys has been you motherfuckers enslaving us, raping us, cutting off our... But then we can't be retaliating to the mistreatment. No, we got to be black supremacists. You are the ones who are the supremacists because you call yourselves white because you don't have any melanin. So you try to call us black so you could create someone to be in opposition with. And then if we weren't around, you would be looking at blue eyes against brown eyes or black hair against blonde hair. That's who you guys are. Keep us out of that shit.
Quarter of a million Negroes. Their doctrine is being taught in 50 cities across the nation.
They're not just being taught in 50 cities across the nation. We was busy as hell trying to eat. Alright? So if you get together and want to have a center where you want to worship something other than the white man as your God, that is not some indoctrination. That is just people getting together wanting to be themselves. That's all it is. And wanting to return to knowledge of self. When these bastards get organizations of black people together and teach them to worship something outside of self like their white faces, that is where the crime is committed at.
Let no one underestimate the Muslims. They have their own parochial schools, like this one.
No, we have our God-given right in the light ships, okay? These schools right here is not our own parochial schools. What they are is schools outside of the brainwashed schools that these bastards would like us all to have to stay in. These people in these black schools, under Elijah Muhammad, under the teachings of Mr. Farrakhan, under the teachings of all the black leaders that come up trying to return our nation of people to knowledge of self, the best thing that could ever happen to us, because it was the removal from us being in our own centers of learning and introduced to their centers of learning that got all our asses loving Santa Claus and Jesus. Stagnant bullshit.
In Chicago, where Muslim children are taught to hate the white man.
Muslim children are taught to hate the white man because the white man teaches them how much he hates them. So through actual intuition and observance of the treatment you receive from someone, you'd be a damn fool not to hate somebody that's hanging you, cutting off your dick, and depriving you of your right to be successful on this earth. No one has to teach you to hate that. You quite naturally know to do that. Nobody had to get him a book and say, this is how you should respond to the person that's kicking you in your ass. You quite naturally know to kick him back. That's common sense. See, this is how they lie and keep control over everybody and everything on the earth by using propaganda and bullshit. And then he's the one got the media, and then there's no black people who has any media to combat this that black people can sit around and watch. So when black people get Jesus as God and then get their news too, and then their schools and everything is them, they got to go beg them for welfare. Oh, please let me get off the slave line. They have fucked us up because they enslaved us and oppressed us. And they still keep this propaganda that you see right here in the 50s is still alive to this day. That's the only way they can stay implemented, is that they keep killing us blacks because we are the true owners of this earth and we get the knowledge from the sunlight. So this is all you're going to ever hear from them about us as long as they're on this earth. And they're going to always prey on us. And that's why the earth is here to drown them and get their ass off the planet. That's what God is here doing. The lights. When I say the lights, you better know that I mean God. My sister Bastet is going to destroy them by destroying their God, their gold, their oil, and their drugs, and their diamonds.
Even the clothes they wear are in sharp contrast to American dress.
Why? There's just a star right there in the back, okay? And how come this can't just be somebody with a scarf wrapped around them? Why do there's got to be something so wrong with that? Why do we have to wear European clothes with ties and everything fake and synthetic, when we knew at the time how important it was not to tamper with the earth and just make clothes out of the natural materials that the earth gave us? So we stuck to natural fabrics, and we made them as simple as possible. It was a white man that come from regions where he had snow and cold air blowing up under his nuts that had to create pants and all this shit. There's nothing wrong with us having our unique dress, The problem is we don't want you to be unique. We want you to be westernized so we can claim you and call you Paul Shields and make you be a part of our stupid religion and every damn thing.
Like these two Negro children going to school.
They're not Negroes. They are gods and goddesses. Know that. Just because you want them to be Negroes, they're not. That's the name that y'all gave us when you put us on your chains. In case you don't know the story, you grabbed these children and put chains on them. Then as they grew, they had children, and you had brainwashed their minds to teach their children to go by names that you gave them. And that's where Negro came from. That's not what God calls us. God calls us Moors, Muslims, gods and goddesses. We've been known by these names forever, before your ass was ever a thought. So take Negro and stick it up your ass or call yourself that.
Wherever they go, the Muslims withdraw from the life of the community.
You mean they try to stay away from the oppressive white man? They should. That means that they're very wise. The sun is talking to them.
They have their own stores.
They should.
Markets, barbershops, restaurants.
They should. Because every time we go into your stores and your barbershop, we're always treated like, no, we don't want you here. Oh, double charge them. Yep, let's not let them keep their own money in their neighborhoods. What's so wrong with Muslims having their own infrastructure? You Christians have yours.
Here you see a progressive, modern, air-conditioned Muslim department store on Chicago's South Side.
Oh, sad that they got to have a modernized, air-conditioned Chicago Muslim store on the South Side. That's probably because that's where they lived at. And they should have their own stores. You idiot, you have yours in your neighborhoods.
Their story of hatred for the white man is carried in many Negro newspapers. Here you see their minister Malcolm X proudly displaying 5 of the biggest Negro papers in America.
Oh, shame on them. Why you guys have all your shows that every night don't want to show anything but cops, black men running around with their shirts off. All the bullshit. Oh, it's just, I can't believe it.
It was published in Los Angeles, New York, Pittsburgh, Detroit, and Newark.
Places where we had already had big stone walls where we wrote our literature to each other and demonstrated how we felt about things and all that. What is wrong with having the privilege to do that? You guys want it for yourselves.
Negro politicians, regardless.
Negro politicians, imagine that. Where is our house of government at? Okay? Why does it have to be politics? Because it's different than your politics, so you think it's oppositional? No, what's going on is that we need to get together and think about what we need to do to better ourselves, because you guys don't give a fuck about us. For 500 years you made slaves out of us and never gave us any type of compensation for all our work. Even today we have no medical coverage, no insurance. You got police that ride around, write big ass tickets that you know we can't pay, then take our driver license away. Everything that killed us is who you guys is about. So fuck you, tell the truth. You know for a fact that God is killing you. I'm so happy, because I'm showing America right now why we have done so wrong in this country is because of bad propaganda like this and the hatred that come from these people on us. So don't flip it. Tell the truth.
Of their private beliefs, listen when the leaders of the black supremacist movement speak. Here you see Manhattan Borough President Hewlin Jack shaking hands with Elijah Muhammad, the leader of the Muslims.
Okay, listen, let me explain something to you. There is nothing wrong with us as a people having our best self-interest in our heart and doing something about bettering ourselves and picking ourselves up to get going from the terrible, terrible circumstances that we are still up under at the hands of the evil white man. And it's only natural for him to sit there and try to make this look like it's something bad, because he doesn't want us having unity with each other so we can get up and take everything that they're taking from us back so we can build ourselves up and don't have to be worried about every time some type of natural disaster come along, we don't get no help from anyone. We have to always freaking beg somebody for something that is ours, that the universe gave us. They have nerves. Nerves.
And here is City Councilman Earl Brown addressing a Muslim rally. 4 to 5 times a year, the Muslims assemble in one of America's major cities to hear their leader, Elijah Muhammad. This coming Sunday afternoon, they will gather at New York's St. Nicholas Arena to hear him.
Well, the one thing about it is if he knows all that, it ain't like they kept it quiet or private. So you know what I'm saying? It ain't like the Masons the Freemasons and all these freaking Knights Templar and all these freaking Ku Klux Klan and all the Southern Baptist minister and all the shit you guys did to get together and hang a fool and cut his dick off and all that old stuff. You know what I'm saying? That you didn't even have to hide. You made it perfectly clear. Broke literature and passed it off. Picnic, we gonna hang some niggas. We know they didn't do nothing wrong, but we gonna say they did something wrong, you know. And then everybody show up. Children, girls, everyone, to see somebody get their dick cut off. That's a damn shame.
But here, you see them arriving at Washington's Uline Arena for a meeting they held just 6 weeks ago. Every devout Muslim is eager to attend these meetings. For some time between now and 1970, and at just such a rally as this, the Muslim leader has intimated that he will give the call for the destruction of the white man. As you will see, every precaution is taken to protect their leader at these meetings. The Muslims, both men and women, submit themselves to a complete search before they finally enter the meeting hall. Some 10,000 persons attended the rally that you see here. All of them were searched. That's a search going on here. This process began 3 hours before the meeting started. And shortly, you will see Elijah Muhammad, founder and spiritual leader of the group. His flock is waiting for him now. And finally, here comes their spiritual leader, Elijah Muhammad. He's actually Elijah Poole of Hawkinsville, Georgia. During World War II, Muhammad was arrested and charged with sedition and draft dodging. The Department of Justice finally dropped the charge that he had advocated defeat of the white democracies and victory for the colored Japanese. But Muhammad and his followers did serve time in the federal penitentiary for refusing to register for the draft. Here you will hear Elijah Muhammad introduced by Minister Malcolm X, the Muslims' New York leader and ambassador at large for the movement. The good news that Minister X talks about here is the coming rise of the black man and the fall of the white man.
Everyone who is here today realizes that we are now living in the fulfillment of prophecy. We have come to hear and to see the greatest and the wisest and most fearless black man in America today.
The only reason that these white men on earth is so afraid of us black men rising is because he knows the whole circumstances around him coming into any type of possession of anything was that he had to steal and take everything from the true owners of the earth, which is us melanated people, who the earth was built for and by. So the thing is that he can sit around and try to perpetuate his lies to cover up his crimes and all of the illegal activities that has gone on the earth for him to sit his phony imposter ass up. Saw freaking George Bush today, proud as hell to think he done got away with it. You might have tricked man on earth, but you still gonna have to go deal with a SAR. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna be waiting on your bitch ass. But the thing is this, all this propaganda about the only way the black man could rise is that we gotta go against war against the white man, is because he knows that. He murdered us and stole everything from us. And he knows if we ever return to our greatness, it's because all of what's ours has returned to us. And the only way we get that back is that we have to kill him. And he knows that. So that's the reason why the light ships are here. And that's the reason for all the weather. And that's the reason the weather is going to continue. I know how you guys is dying, even if you don't tell the rest of the world. I know how much you're dying. It's just like what Malcolm X just said. It's prophecy. So that's why I'm here. And you guys gonna sit around here and try to starve everybody on the earth and try to use your concentration camps to dwindle the masses of the people away because you're just selfish and greedy, and that's all you can do because your limitation of intelligence is at 33 degrees. You are only 1 degree above freezing, which means that you are out of your elements, which means you are very easy to kill as long as we remain on the natural spectrum of how this earth was designed, which means it's simple. I am going to destroy your nest. All these houses, all these trucks, all these buses, all these golf courses, all your hospitals and schools and churches are all sanctioned for eradication. And I'm going to use the water to destroy it so much that as soon as you're cleaning up and